Over this past year, I've been entranced with working out color in these repeated curves. They're not exactly curves, they're more erratic waves, sometimes flowing back on themselves. Flow, pressure, overlap, incompletion, expansion, tension. That's the way I think about the layout, but the layout is really used in the service of color relationships. How color is going to build up through sequence, light building up of colors, overlapping, and making a unique field. That's the painting. Most of the paintings in the show are studies I did in March and April during the lockdown, when I couldn't come to the studio, and I had my materials for doing studies. I did a lot of studies using these curves, and it turned out I really needed a lot of time to work this out for myself. I did quite a few studies that I am happy with and that I committed to and that I turned into paintings, and I found that I was able to paint some of these larger than paintings I have done this way in the past. Color can be amazing in a bunch of ways, and many of these ways I work with, but I think I'm particularly focused on how extraordinarily relational color is. How one color put next to another color and then another, building up a painting, can be kind of a field of push and pull of forces. And that this kind of painting on a large scale can really be felt almost physically, like in the eye, and sometimes I personally feel in the body. Everything that I do with the materials, with the layout, it's all kind of in the pursuit of that kind of affect. I pour the paint partly because I want to avoid brush strokes, but partly because I want each color area to be really a material fact. I think this is something that comes together in these paintings that's very important. The way that the color is so relational, the color is about light, but each color is a thick fact of transparent acrylic. So what I'm really after is for each color to be totally related, and for the material qualities and the color qualities to act on one another and to kind of charge one another in the completed painting. Paint also is pretty amazing. It's something that partakes of two worlds. It's on that border between color, which is an aspect of light, a part of light, and just being some thick stuff in a tube or whatever. Add to those contradictions the element of compositional movement, dark and light, scale, weight, all the things that are the elements of seeing the world. And an abstract painter uses those without representation, recombining them in a new way. And you have the opportunity to maybe have a visual experience that is very fresh, where you feel that maybe for a moment you're seeing the world in a fresh way. And that is something that I consider to be very precious. If it works, it's a kind of contemplation. And it, I think, relates to what Bach once spoke of as a delectation for the soul.